Campbell and Josling, both 26 at the time, went to Jack Astor's to have a few drinks. A short time later, they saw Frank Harbalis, who had moments earlier punched the manager, chasing and throwing a chair in his direction. The two men and another staff member intervened, tackling and restraining Harbalis, who continued to resist. Some witnesses described seeing Campbell holding Harbalis in a chokehold.
If you don't know what this case is, this involves two men in Canada. They were at a bar and they were witnessing some man hitting an older Indian, one of the managers at the establishment that they were. So what ends up happening is that they intervene into the fight and try to help the man who's being beaten up. And they kind of wrestle the guy to the ground and basically stop him, but the guy keeps thrashing and fighting them, so they just try to hold him down. But the dude kind of just hyperventilating, his heart stops. Paramedics come, the dude passes away, they get charged with manslaughter.
Alexander Campbell and Tyler Josling cried with relief, their friends and family jubilant, as the judge said not guilty. While friends and family of Frank Harbalis, the man who died after the bar fight, swore out loud and stormed out of the courtroom, clearly upset with the verdict. Will you say a few words just about how you're feeling?
I hate to say it, honey, but no comment, please, just respectably.
Alexander Campbell walks out of the University Avenue courthouse with a huge weight lifted off his shoulders, nearly 3 years after being charged with manslaughter. He and his friend Tyler Josling have just been found not guilty. The judge ruling the two men were acting as good Samaritans when they intervened in a bar fight between an angry customer and a manager at the Scarborough Town Centre Jack Astor's in July 2022.
These gentlemen got themselves in a situation trying to assist, and as a result faced a prosecution.
Campbell and Josling, both 26 at the time, went to Jack Astor's to have a few drinks. A short time later, they saw Frank Harbalis, who had moments earlier punched the manager, chasing and throwing a chair in his direction. The two men and another staff member intervened, tackling and restraining Harbalis, who continued to resist. Some witnesses described seeing Campbell holding Harbalis in a chokehold. When first responders arrived, the 32-year-old was unconscious. Harbalis died in hospital 2 days later. A pathologist testified at trial that the cause of death was neck compression. The neck compression may have contributed to cardiac arrest because Harbalis had a pre-existing heart condition. The judge telling court, "I find that the most that has been proven is that the defendants may have made a brief misjudgment about the amount of force necessary and appropriate to get Mr. Harbalis under control. They were making decisions in the face of a real threat of harm to others and with little time for careful consideration. They were trying to help."
He believed that it could not be proven that they did not act reasonably in the circumstances that they were facing, which was one of what he described as imminent peril.
The judge did not believe that Campbell and Josling meant to cause serious harm to Harbalis and noted that while he did not know what caused Harbalis' sudden violent behavior, he called it tragic that Harbalis did not get the help he clearly needed.
There's plenty of places where there's no security. Jack Astor's is a restaurant.
True.
It's a restaurant, a little bit more rowdy. Restaurant / sports bar / there's no security. Okay, I call them crazy people. I'm sorry. You're gonna hit someone because you're not happy with the service you receive, and I just hit like a push a shove. You hit, you pursue, you try to throw a chair. If your heart stops, I'm not gonna be the one to have some kind of compassion. And yes, sometimes some people are going to step in. I know I have in the past, and I know I will in the future. If I see something like that and someone's being rowdy and the manager is alone and overwhelmed and getting beat, I might jump in. I might be able, I might.
I do, this is probably the thing I hate the most about the legal system in Canada. Things like self-defense really aren't a thing in a lot of places. And there's a bit of a chilling effect here. And the fact that they even brought this prosecution forward is a fucking shame. Because the chilling effect from this is that essentially if you're a good Samaritan, you see someone in danger and you decide to intervene, because you don't do it perfectly, we're going to send you to jail for many years. What insanity is that? And for his family to storm off like that Frank Harbalis guy wasn't a piece of garbage is crazy. Fuck that guy. He attacked somebody else and he's dead because of it. And you know what? I don't feel bad. Tragic? You assaulted a man and start throwing chairs and beating on him. You want to engage in violence, you get violence reaction. So I don't care. I'm so sick of the fact that as a society, we make all kinds of excuses for, but I agree he shouldn't be dead. But you know what? When you punch somebody, you risk killing them. He was risking killing everyone else, and y'all wanted to what? Wait to see how things end up? What if he punches the guy and then ends his life? Now it's a tragedy. But we could have prevented it by taking him out first. I don't care. When people run them over with a car, blast them, put them in a headlock, folks who engage in violence should understand that they have decided their life is forfeit. And they can't expect everyone to react perfectly. You put everyone else in an impossible situation of high stress, no time to react, and you want everyone to do it perfectly. That's not reasonable for me in terms of self-defense. Y'all can say whatever you want about America and the way we do a lot of stuff, but in a lot of states over there, they do some self-defense way better than we do. The idea of these good Samaritans who jumped in to save a man, they weren't punching on him, they held him in a headlock. Why? Because the dude was gonna beat up everyone if they didn't. I don't understand as a prosecutor how you could look at that video and say, I want to charge this because I think it makes society safer. How is it safer to tell people don't help others?
And what boggles the mind is that everything is on tape.
Yeah.
Everything. You saw everything from A to Z. Where the manager is just standing there and they have a disagreement and he wails at him. You see all that and you said, nah. Prosecute. No, if you do that, and the worst thing is that the family that stormed off, if Harbalis would knocked him out and killed the manager, you probably would want your guy to be free. You probably would want your guy to be free, even though he's the one that engaged. Yeah, he's the one that started the whole thing. So I'm sorry, man.
No,
you have your dude doing all that and doing too much on tape. You saw. I hope you were there too the whole time, not just at the end, but you saw the whole thing before calling in bullshit, and you saw what happened on tape and what that person in your family did. I'm sorry, but no.
He's a big dude. He's whomping on this dude. I don't care. Just
for what?
And that's the same thing for every form of crime. Like I'm sick of all these like weird defenses that people come up with. I saw another one where some dude was running at some kid with a knife. And I guess a teenager somewhere in Toronto like pulled out a gun and shot him because he was terrified for his life. And everyone was like, "Oh, it's not." Like, I don't care, man. F that kid. If you run at me with a knife, get blasted. I don't care if your whole face gets shot off with a shotgun. We need to stop protecting people who decide to initiate harm on other people. That's just a thing that happens to me. And I'm very I don't care what race is involved, what gender, whatever it is. If you initiate violence, I'm not expecting proportionality. If you try to punch someone and they shoot your ass afterwards, I don't give a f. You wanted to put other people's lives at risk. I don't care about whether you live or not. That's how I feel. I think we're too soft on people who are violent, in my opinion. We give people too many chances for them to go around punching people and taking a chance. But how many times do you hear stories about people punching someone once and they die? Yeah, I don't think that shit's sweet. So as far as I'm concerned, good riddance. I'm glad these guys got off, but I think the fact that this was even brought to court just represents how stupid Canada can be in regards to self-defense.
100%.
That's what I think. Anything else?
No.
All right, let us know what y'all think in the comments. All right, that's it for today.